Welcome to News 9 Live and you are watching On Point with me. In this edition, I have an exclusive 44-minute long interview, no holds barred, with the Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh. Biren Singh spoke to me on a number of subjects, from immigration, to drugs, to violence, to peace talks, Assam Rifles, NSCN, Arambai Bengal, territorial sovereignty and integrity of Manipur. Who are indigenous people of Manipur? The problem of illegal migration and the violence which is taking place. These are the issues on which he came out with candid and unfiltered replies. Biren Singh said that the core issues behind the violence in the state was the illegal immigration and the war on drugs. He also added that as a Manipuri and the Chief Minister, he was very pained by the violence in the state. In his interview, the Chief Minister was categorical. He said there cannot be any compromise with the territorial integrity of the state of Manipur, and he also hinted that a foreign country might be behind the violence which is affecting Manipur. So first let me play out the first bite. Do you still stand by your statement that you are a victim of conspiracy because you started a war on drugs?
Yeah, really, that is the main root cause why I am suffering today.
Did you ever think of passing the baton, putting in your papers? Did you ever feel that way? Did you ever do it privately?
Which one?
Putting in your papers. Did you ever thought of doing that? Putting in your papers?
Putting in your paper means?
Resigning. Did you ever thought of that?
Once before, the pressure was so high and the expectation was so high from the public, and as a Chief Minister I could not able to do due to the circumstances. People thinks he can do, but as a CM, constitutional Chief Minister, I cannot do. That period I took a decision to resign, but did not allow me. Why some mother and sister people's camps? Then you have to finish your tasks. Then I remained. I feel sometimes, pained during my time happening this kind of things also not good. That's.
So Karthikeya, now since you have done the interview, now let me do the let's do the role reversal and all. What was the hang of Biren Singh's personality you got? Did you feel that he was under a lot of pressure? He was talking about his pressure. We also covered that event, when he offered to resign and Meera Paibis and all forced him not to, go ahead and tore his resignation letter. Did he look like a man in command? What was the sense you got?
I think Biren Singh is in command. There is no doubt about it. Yes, there is pressure on Biren Singh. It was a long conversation and I had the opportunity to speak to the minister also, Brijesh. There are things which are moving, but I don't think he can talk about it publicly. The conversations he had with the Prime Minister, the conversation he had with Rajnath Singh, the conversation he had with Amit Shah. There are wheels within the wheels. But he does understand one thing, that probably there is an anxiety in Manipur that the native population should not turn into a minority. There is an anxiety, I feel, something which is happening in Assam. There is an anxiety in Assamese that there is so much of illegal migration from Bangladesh that, in next 40 years, they might turn into a sort of not a majority community, but an equal community, 50-50. Yeah. So this feeling I felt that there is a great anxiety that Meitei shouldn't just become another community, because ultimately if you talk about Manipur, we have to understand also from the perspective of the Manipuri state. History of Manipur before it became a state. And secondly, when I spoke to him on the issues such as Arambai, Tengol and CSO, he was very categorical. He said that, the violence which is happening and the CSOs which are indulging in it is something which is seized off. He understands the implication of civil society actors encroaching on the state. But I think the biggest takeaway was when he again said, I want all cookie MLAs to come to the budget. This issue which we had raised, he exactly said the same thing.
No, but there are two other important components of, because we have been covering it right from day one. One issue was the war on drugs. How emphatic you find him, how convinced was he that all of this has started because of his war on drugs and no other issues involved?
I think war on drugs and plus the illegal immigration is an issue. That is why I said that this whole feeling of majority turning into a minority is an important thing. Because the conversation also was around the comparison of places in 2006, 16 and now, and the sort of settlements that were taking place of people who had come from obviously outside, the doubling of population in the jungle areas. But there is also another thing which I understood from the meeting and the interview which subsequently happened, that this is a long haul game, it's not a short haul game. And he understands that Assam Rifle has created a piquant situation. That is why he categorically in my interview said that the Manipur commandos belong to the state and they must be allowed to operate within the ambit of the state.
This was the second question which I was coming to, because Assam Rifles has been in thick of controversy right from the word go. One community completely loathes Assam Rifle, one community or ethnicity just loves Assam Rifle. When he talked about Assam Rifle, what was the sense you gauged, that is Assam Rifle part of the problem?
I think my sense is that he does feel that it is part of the problem, but as a chief minister, he didn't say that openly. But I felt it because he said that, Manipur commandos must be allowed to do their job. That was very clear.
This means that like Assam Rifle is hindering or not allowing Manipur commandos to.
But he was conciliatory towards cookies, Throughout the interviews, he kept on saying cookie brothers, and he was pretty conciliatory on this issue. And he has actually spoken on the sort of a headway which is being made. And let me tell you that in the interview, he was at pains to distinguish between those who are part and parcel of the citizenship of Manipur and those who have come from outside. I think he was trying to draw the line and he did it pretty clearly. Let me play out one more bite of Biren Singh on violence and then I will play out the entire 44 minutes of interview.
1.5 years has happened since the violence erupted in the state. What are the core issues today?
You see, this present crisis is, I am very sad in a sense, it should not be like this. Because the core issues was, identification of illegal migrants from the Myanmar and other countries. Particularly, in Manipur, once in 1962, subject to correction, when the Burma, when the present Myanmar was called Burma, there was an uprising, military coup. During that time, due to the unrest in the Burma, some people entered in the state and settled, as per record. And after that, in the 1988, on the Aung San Suu Kyi, 88 or subject to correction, Aung San Suu Kyi started democratic movement and there was a fight. Military coup was there. Second time military coup. Correct. And this is the third time.
And the thing is that you said that his tone was very conciliatory. Is it the after effect of what happened in 2024 general elections?
Yes, I did ask him about that question, and he said that there were a lot of expectations from people. He did concede that yes, Bharatiya Janata Party lost 2 seats. He was graceful enough to accept that the damage has been done. But then he also said our vote also increased in numbers, But he's a politician, he's entitled to defend his party. But I think the most important thing was, which he was very proud of, that the number of poppy fields he has destroyed. So he kept on through the interview actually giving out details on the destruction of the poppy fields. And he said that, he had to do this because Manipur was becoming a gateway. So it's a two-pronged interview, because he said that he will not allow Manipur to become another Assam. He said it. He will not allow Manipur to become another Assam where the demography is changed. And he kept on saying, and he also said that cordon and search operation, he is not against it. But then it should be for the entire territory, which means that the entire sector of the hills and the Imphal Valley.
Not just limited to Valley.
Not just limited to Valley. The weapons must be taken from every part of the Manipur. So he was pretty categorical in that respect. And in this interview, Brijesh, I would also say that for the first time, Chief Minister has spoken for 45 minutes.
True.
He has spoken for 45 minutes. I mean to say, and then to have, to address issues, as I said, from NSCM to Arambai, Tengol, to immigration, to drugs, to the camps, to issues which I said that, CSO have become more important than the government. And he said that, well, he wants the MLAs to come to the valley. And let's see if on his assurance, if the MLAs
will be a political
come,
coup. Nothing sort of a political coup.
Actually, Biren Singh's political coup would be even if a single MLA from the hill area comes down and become part of the budget session, that will be a coup. So, in this 44 minutes of interview, you will understand the core issues which the Chief Minister think is behind the violence of Manipur. The core issues. So, let me play out this special on-point edition for you.
Welcome to this edition of On Point, and I'm joined by the Chief Minister of Manipur, N. Biren Singh. Sir, thank you so much for making time for News 9 Live. And let me begin this interview on the core issues which are plaguing Manipur. And let me remind you of a post which you made on January 22nd, 2013, 1 o'clock in noon. And you said, can we accept partition of a tiny state? Further, for me, no, no, at any cost. 2013. What does it mean to you today?
Kartik, yeah, it was 11 years before. I smell some things because the present crisis is related very much. During 2008, there was a process of suspension of operation between the state government and the Kuki militants. During that process, their demand was for a separate homeland. But I was a cabinet during that time, fortunately in 2008, and I objected. I said, in the agenda, if the agenda, their demand is included a separate state or separate homeland within the state or from the state, which cannot be accepted, and I as a cabinet minister will not support it, and I will not attend the signing ceremony. Then I went out. And after that, the committee, the government and the militants groups, Kuki militants group have agreed and withdrawn the proposals of the homeland. Again, then the shoe was signed without after taking out the homeland demand. But after some times, in 2012, I came to know then, 2008, I was not a minister, I was a MLA. I came to know that in one particular district, which is majority dominated by the Kuki brothers and sisters, thus the government has transferred 4 panchayat districts, blocks in Kangatongbi to these hills ADC, Autonomous District Council. So I said, why you are transferring the Gram Panchayat land to the Autonomous District Council? Please don't do it. It may create another demands of homeland, this and that. So don't do it. But they didn't listen. Then I tweeted this to wake up the masses ki the government is going to do something wrong, and they have created a space for a alternative state or something. That was the tweet which I made.
Okay. Now, 1.5 years have happened since the violence erupted in the state. What are the core issues today?
You see, this present crisis is, I am very sad. I am very sad in a sense, it should not be like this. Because the core issues was, identification of illegal migrants from the Myanmar and other countries. Particularly, in Manipur, once in 1962, subject to correction, when the Burma, when the present Myanmar was called Burma, there was an uprising, military coup. During that time, due to the unrest in the Burma, some people entered in the state and settled, as per record. And after that, in the 1988, and Aung San Suu Kyi, 88 or subject to correction, Aung San Suu Kyi started democratic movement, and there was a fight. Military coup was there. Second time military coup. And this is the third time. So during that time also, many influx were taken place, and we did not care, because all the 400 long border with Myanmar was unguarded. No fencing, nothing. And there was a free movement regime, which people can enter 40 kilometers inside India without having any documents, and 40 kilometers inside the Myanmar without any document. So that kind of things taken place. The core issues is because of that. Because of that, the increasing number of illegal migrants in particular districts and particular community is, very alarming to the indigenous population of the state. That is the reason why the present crisis is taken place.
Well, can you just take us through on the war of drugs? You have spoken about drugs being the big cause of violence in the state. So, how has the war on drugs worked?
You see, in the war on drugs was launched in 2018. And due to the COVID, we cannot do fast. Then after COVID, we did something. Then after the next government comes, we started again. Till today, as per the satellite report, poppy cultivation has reduced to 60% in the state of Manipur. That became a great achievement. And the arrest of drugs peddler has reduced like anything. Now it has gone through some other state. Road has been changed because of our, active vigils. And in the operation, drugs, we arrested around 60,000 crores rupees drugs from Manipur state, and around 18,000 hectares of poppy plantation were destroyed. But now today's recently one positive step is coming from the Chinkuki brothers, rightly from the Kuki militants that United People Fronts. We include the Kuki National Organization. they have sent out a press handout saying that and instructing to all the village chiefs and the civil societies and all the peoples not to indulge in any kind of drug trafficking and not to do any poppy plantation. It is a good achievement of the peoples of the state and the government of India also. Nisha Mukta Bharat under the Prime Minister of Modi ji, it's also taking place smoothly.
How drug issue can impact India's national security?
You see, not only the national security, the youth, mainly Manipur is the only route, surface route connecting with the Southeast Asia, and mainly the Golden Triangles touching. So Manipur was the only route where the drugs comes brought from Myanmar through Myanmar and will be distributed reaching in Bombay, Maharashtra, Delhi, UP, like this. So it kills our youth. It spoils the character, the career, life. So because of our state government war on drugs, it prevents the life of many youths of the India. And as well as when drug traffickers are using, might be using as the agency of the China. I don't want to mention, might be using by the Western country because drugs peddler involved, drug smuggler, mafia involved, many people from the Western country.
Are you saying there is a China hand?
I cannot say, but possibility is there. And the Western country.
So, Manipur is also supposed to be the gateway. Look East became Act East. You have the Kaladan project. This entire thing has derailed that interconnectivity thing. Do you in future, will it be possible? People used to say that let's start from Delhi, drive to Kolkata, drive to Imphal, go to Moreh and then Tamu and drive through Thailand.
It should go on. It should carry on. And determination is there. We can. India government can not do. They'll do it. And we are ready to help it.
And how long this war against drugs is going to continue?
Now, almost people have come out openly not to plant, not to do it. Then without the people involvement, we cannot achieve anything. Now, people involvement has come up from the beginning also in many areas. In the Naga habitat area, they are involving. And even Kuki habitat area also. Many civil society and NGOs were involved in destroying the poppy plantation against the drug. But this time I am happy. Good one organization, UG organization, has come up with details directing the Kuki chiefs and others people not to do any kind of drug business in the poppy plantation. It's a good. Then at the earliest we can solve these drug problems.
Are you saying that the illegal immigration can change the demography of Manipur?
You see, in 1972, our Sin Kuki brothers have only 6 elected members in the assembly. 60 seat assembly is in Manipur. Out of that, there were only 6 MLAs, but now they have increased to 10. And the constituency-wise population is increasing day by day. Say in Valley, suppose my assembly constituency population is border is hardly 32,000. It remains since 10-15 years hardly 2%, 10% increasing. But in some particular district, in a particular AC, where these people living is 75% increasing, 50% increasing, even in the electoral roll. So this has become very alarming, and we indigenous people are very less population. So Nagas are indigenous people. They are hardly their population might be 6 lakhs. And we, the Sanatan Hindus and the indigenous Sanamai, altogether we might have only hardly 15, 16 lakhs.
So who are these indigenous people? Can you tell us?
Indigenous peoples is known as, those people who are living from the time immemorial, Nagas. There are Nagas also in many tribes in there, Tangkhus, Mao, Maram, Kabui, Romai, Lengmai, like this. And then, Maring, many sub-tribes. And Nagas, they are all indigenous. And the Meiteis. Meiteis means the Hindus Meiteis, and the Sanamai Meiteis. These are the pure indigenous people. But you see, it is very interesting. Due to the prevailing, not just before happening this, the cabinet took a decision to live together all harmoniously. We decided to include the Chinkuki brothers also, those who are settling, all settlers, also to include in the indigenous people. And we decided we included. Amongst the Kukis, there are sub-tribes there. So like Gangte in the, the indigenous people list. We already published in the Gazette. Thadou, these are all Kukis. Paite, Mar, Simte, everything has been included. But these core issues is not with them. This is whatever happening today is those who come from the outside as illegal migrants and are settled in the reserve forests and are doing the drugs business, destroying the forests, they are planting poppies, and they are doing drug business, which can destroy the generation. These are the core issues.
A lot of Kuki organizations say that the Kukis are being othered. Everyone is being painted as a drug peddler. Your comments?
No, never. When the drug peddler arrested, Meitei, from our Meitei also include. From the Nagas also there. But all Kukis is not are not the drug peddler. But I am targeting those who are in the drug business. Might be Muslim, majority also having in the Meitei Pangal means Muslim. Muslim doing drug business. Kuki also doing. And amongst the Meitei also some people were arrested. Among the Nagas also. But I am targeting against the drug peddler, not to the Kukis. They have misinterpreted. But when I started the destroying of the poppy plantation found maximum in the Kuki habitat area. Even in the Naga habitat area also I found. But Naga did not react. They themselves destroyed the forest, poppy. But even in the Kuki dominated area also, in some area, Kuki ship came out. Civil society came out and they destroyed themselves. That was the issues, but some politically vested, interested person turned it into a communal war, community war. It is not.
My first question was on the territorial integrity of the state. Is territorial integrity of Manipur part of the core issue?
Why not? Very hard-earned state, country by our forefather. 2000 years history we have. More than 100 king sacrificed their life to maintain stability and the integrity of the state. Then we merged in 1949 into India. And now we become an Indian state with boundaries and population. We merge. That is the sentiment of the people of the Manipur. We merge with India, so our territorial boundaries should not touch by anybody without the consent of the people of the state. That's the core issues. That is the demand of the people. Whole people want it, except some few towards having the mindset of separatists, this and that. That is another thing. But in general, government also stand by it, and the people also stand by it.
Do you ever feel that Manipur can turn into another Assam in context of the massive immigrant influx?
If we did not act right now, if we did not continue what we started in the 2023 January, identification of the illegal migrants, through foreigner acts, and the detection of the illegal migrants and the deportation of the illegal migrants. If we did not do it in time, this is the right time. It is too late. Today also late. But even though if we did not act today, we don't have any future. As I mentioned, once 6 MLAs was there, now increased to the 10. Then after 10, 15 years, how many number can be increased? No one can see. But from the satellite mapping, from the Google mapping, increase of uncounted villages in some particular area is, you will be very surprised. I have taken all the views from the satellite mapping, and more than in the last 10, 15 years, nearly around 996 new villages comes up.
Mr. Singh, 1.5 years have passed since violence. The country was surprised by the ferocity of the fight that took place in Manipur. In retrospect, why did it happen? Do you feel that it could have been stopped there and then?
Actually, in reality, all the initiatives were taken by the government. Identification of illegal migrants were done by the government under me, forming a cabinet subcommittee. In the cabinet subcommittee, our brother Kuki MLAs, one Letpao Haukif, he is the present minister of the Tea and Hills. He led the team. He was the chairman of the subcommittee, and one Naga was there, and one Meitei was there. Composition, Nagas, Meiteis, Kukis. But I allowed him to lead the team because we are going to identify Kukis from the Myanmar. It shows that Kukis, those already in Manipur, they are our peoples. That is the reason why I put Letpao Haukip as a chairman to lead when identifying the illegal migrants. Nothing was there. But unfortunately, instead of targeting on me and to the government, they should have targeted me, because illegal immigration, the biometrics, eye scanning, and deportation were done by the government, not by the Meiteis. And the drugs drives, war on drugs also done by me, my government, not by Meiteis or Kukis or Nagas. And the destroying of protection of reserve forests and the protected forests and the destroying of the poppy plantation in the hills also were taken initiative by the government, not by the Meiteis. But unfortunately, on that day, how they targeted the innocent Meiteis. And then in retaliation, innocent Kukis also dying. Innocent Meitei also dying. I am very sad for it. They should have done to remove me politically. If they can organize, the Meiteis also, they can organize, the Naga also, whatever Biren is doing, whatever Shem is doing wrong. Illegal migrants, why he is stopping the entry of the illegal migrants, why he is doing the war on drugs, why he is destroying the poppy plantation. So let us remove him. They should have done like it. But instead of that, some few people have instigated the young generations, misled it. But the actual fight was against the illegal migrants, not to the cookies, not to the party, not to everyone, only those who comes illegally.
Mr. Singh, are you working on any timeline? Now, a lot of water has passed. I mean, so a lot of time has passed. So, is there a timeline you have, and can there be any basis to start a conversation with the cookie community now? Because there is a lot of suspicion amongst Maitis and cookies in Valley today. So, are you working on some timeline, or is there some beginning which is happening?
Kartik, I might be the most disappointed chief minister in India, because you know what Manipur were before. Before I came as a CM under the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, 2017, in Manipur there was fake encounters. Thousands of people were killed, burned, blocked. Even the peoples could not travel. Just after 5 p.m., everything were closed, highway blockade, burned. Even the petrol were costing 200 per liter. Just people have to make queue. No, then you see after 17, with the guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji and the Amit Shah ji, how Manipur growed. Just in the, I recently joined this Niti Aayog meeting. In the Niti Aayog, Manipur became first, second, third, that kind of development were achieving. And even Miss India, Miss Femina were held in Manipur, tri-nation, the international football tournament held, G20 were held. So many infrastructures were developed. I'm very upset. That is why my priority is now top priority. Then how I initiated and how these issues comes, that was the separate story. Then the present, my priority is to restore normalcy as before in the state of Manipur. So I have formed many committees, sacredly, openly. I made one peace committee led by the Honorable Hill Area Committee Chairman, Dipu Gangmai, and I sent them to meet our Cookie brothers, MLAs in the civil society. They interacted, started, and I sent MLAs team to Delhi to meet the Cookie brothers and sisters, MLAs. They met in Guwahati. Someone met in Delhi. Even myself went to Guwahati, tried to meet some of the MLAs, then some of the civil society.
Any breakthrough?
After that, you will see in the Ziribam, in the last Monday, I just 15 days before, they declared a peace in Ziribam, Mar and Meiteis. Now again, I am trying to cover the others community, that like Paites, those old one, not the migrant, not the illegal migrant, the old one, Paites or maybe Thados, they will be included in the next peace initiative. And like this, I initiated, and the central government, I thanks Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji, on their behalf also, through agency, they are inviting both communities. They have met once, twice, I think. So my priority is to restore peace and normalcy in the state of Manipur, and to do whatever we need to do is it will be done democratically and constitutionally.
Okay. Before I move to certain specific questions which a lot of people would like to know from you, were you taken aback by the loss of both Lok Sabha seats, inner and outer?
Kartik, that is very unfortunate, but in the vote percentage, BJP is gaining more percentage than before. Earlier in 2019, when the R.K. Ranjan won the election, we got 2,41,000. But this time, we got 2,64,000. We are increasing our percentage. But you know, emotion is very high in the state of Manipur, because why not? People are dying. Around 100, 200 people is killed, and many are displaced. Even in the relief camps, now 50, 60 people, for Kuki brothers also, for Meiteis also. So they desperate. They were thinking कि कुछ करूं, कि militant को shoot them, kill them, arrest them. But you know, as a government, it took times when identifying the who's who, because illegal migrants and old settler cookies has mixed up, and the government also could not target everyone. So these are the difficulties in operation from the government side. But what people feel, कुछ किया तो कुछ करो, पकड़ना है, करना है, मारना है. So on that line, some desperate has widely spread in the state. That is the reason why this Congress has taken that opportunity.
Opposition has also blamed that the senior BJP functionaries don't visit Manipur.
No, why not? Arey, never happened before. Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah stayed 3 days. Never happened before in the political history of Manipur. And the State Minister Home, Nityanandaji, spent 25 days. 25 days. And Samir Patra, in charge, he was almost there in the month long.
You have called for a budget session. Are you hopeful that the Kuki MLAs will come? Will you vouch for their security in Imphal?
You see, last time also I requested them through telephone, not officially, but this time I wrote letter personally to them, please to join the assembly, because assembly is everything for us, for a democratic country like India. So I invited them to come, because you know, we are inseparable. All Kukis, Nagas and Meiteis, we are inseparable, you know. But only just our works, our drive is against those illegal immigrants and the drug peddlers. So now we should identify it. My request is to the Kuki brothers, Sin Kuki brothers and sisters, please identify it. And I think now one good proposal, reciprocation from the Kuki NP, the apex body of the Kuki NP has come out in the media saying that they are ready to accept the NRC.
Yes.
That was the core issues of the people of the state, and we also. This biometric, why we are doing this biometric deportation, this is all because of the, for the NRC now.
Okay. Now, when we talk about Manipur in the narrative, there are a lot of grouse from the Meitei community on the context of Assam Rifles. The Kuki spokesperson says that Assam Rifle must say. The Meitei panelists would say no, the Manipuri commandos are not being allowed to do their job. Why is there so much distrust around security forces? And don't you feel that it affects operational preparedness?
You rightly pointed out. Now, this issues has, you know, something mix of. The issues should be with the government, but it has turned into ethnic. Then they are not allowing the government force also to use in the hills. This something has been, you know, in the mindset of the people are not happy. In the valley peoples are not happy. Ki, commandos is a state force, not Meitei force. But some agency and Zinkuki people are taking these commandos is the Meitei force. So those commandos who were working in the Kuki brothers and sisters, they are working in the hills. So that is a dispute and a misunderstanding. It's created by intentionally by some, crooked peoples. I should say, because otherwise, commandos should have allowed to operate in all the state, because it is a state police. That vacuum is there. But regarding about the Assam rifles, I cannot say whole Assam rifle is bad. They are doing good job. They did many things good, but some people might be. But as a whole, we cannot blame whole the organization. Similarly, in Manipur police also, might be some commandos also, some bad peoples with bad intention. But in general, police is for the state and Assam Rifle is for the nation. Might be some incident.
What is the solution, in your opinion? Redeployment?
Solution will be, as of now, I cannot rightly say it, but need coordination. Coordination, and the people, security forces, try to know the pulse of the people, what people want. That should be the solution.
A lot of military retired generals and officers who come, they say there should be a proper cordon search operation to get the looted weapons. Your comments. Why isn't that taking place?
That's right. I endorse. Combing operation is still going on. People are, weapons are collecting, arresting, and coordination both, it should be done both hill and the valley simultaneously, and now it is going on doing. That's a good idea.
So Manipur has seen one phenomena: civil society activists, civil society organizations become more vocal than the politicians. We see less MLAs, few ministers speaking, but we see press release from Arambai Tengol, Mera Paibi, multiple cookie bodies, multiple, but few politicians. Do you think that it has created a ground whereby people perceive that state has retreated and these civil society organizations are getting better off the state government?
Well, just this happened only just this years because of the prevailing situation. The day when the arms militants and the illegal arms holders be arrested or recover, then the day these all things will be finished. Their most of the militants are backing them. They have become sometimes a mouthpiece. Civil society doesn't want to say, but the militants groups will insist them, bolo, ye karo. That kind of things is taking place. But then that's why I'm telling you, when the solution comes with the militancy, then this all the mouthpiece type civil society organization will be automatically off.
How would you define Arambai Tengol?
Arambai Tengol is, was formed as a cultural or customary organization before. But unfortunately, after this incident took place, they have become a violent, involved in the, the protection of the state and people of the Métis mainly. So I think Arambai Tengol will not go far after restoring with the restoring of the normalcy. They will all come to the mainstream.
Did it come to your notice the latest letter exchange which took place between NSCM and Arambai Tengol? NSCM talking about churches and they're writing it back openly.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Both organizations will not talk such, sensational information publicly. They can discuss within, but it should not be allowed.
What constitutes Manipuri identity? You know, a lot of people, when come on the show, say that this constitutes Manipuri identity. Something, no, this is Manipuri identity. It is one state where even the places are renamed. Some says this is Churachandpur. There is a government notification. People have tried changing names of the places. What constitutes Manipur? I mean, so for the larger audience, what is the core identity of a Manipuri?
Manipur is very small. 22,330 square kilometer, and the population is hardly 35 lakhs, but 34 tribes, recognized tribe we are having. Manipur recognition is not only the Meiteis, not only the Nagas, not only the Kukis, and not Meitei Pangals. There are almost 34 recognized tribes, 34 languages, multi-ethnic. So very hard to tackle and very beautiful. We united, you can visit one Shanghai ethnic park. Recently, with the help of the Honorable Prime Minister, we established one ethnic park. There, all the ethnic, with the culture, ethnic houses, we constructed for 34 tribes.
Okay. 3 quick questions before I end the interview. Do you still stand by your statement that you're a victim of conspiracy because you started a war on drugs?
Yeah, really. That is the main root cause why I'm suffering today.
Did you ever think of passing the baton, putting in your papers? Did you ever feel that way? Did you ever do it privately?
Which one?
Putting in your papers. Did you ever thought of doing that? Putting in your papers?
Putting in your paper means?
Resigning. Did you ever thought of that?
Once before, the pressure was so high and the expectation was so high from the public, and as a chief minister I could not able to do due to the circumstances. People think he can do, but as a CM, constitutional chief minister, I cannot do. That period I took a decision to resign, but did not allow me. Why some mother and sister people's camps? Then you have to finish your tasks. Then I remained. I feel sometimes, pained during my time happening this kind of things also not good. That's.
And last question. Who has stood by you politically?
Oh, I'm very fortunate because I am able to work under the leadership of like Narendra Modi ji as a Prime Minister, and also in the same party. And I am very happy working under the Honorable Union Home Minister Amit Shah ji. He is directly monitoring, he is directly guiding, and I am fortunate because of them. Manipur is now restoring peace, and Manipur will go fast in the track of development also, I believe. They are the only my hope, and my peoples are with me.
So thank you so much for talking to News 9 Live.
Thank you, Kartik. Thank you.
Hey, careful, huh? My daddy got it from abroad. Hey, disaster! How will you pay for the loss now?
In stock market, you should take risk as per your capacity and knowledge. Trade in options very carefully.
Wow, Dikra! Absolutely perfect! Take risk with full understanding.